Let me ask you something. If someone dies on your construction site today, if a balcony collapses tomorrow, if a neighbor's building cracks because of your excavation, or if a project you completed 3 years ago develops structural defects, who pays? You, your company, or your insurance? Because in Kenya, contractors can be sued even years after completing a project, and one accident or one claim can cost you millions. Most contractors only realize this when it's too late. Today, we are talking about Contractors Liability Insurance and why it might be one of the most important covers for your construction business. If you're a contractor, subcontractor, developer, or engineer in Kenya, this is for you. Let's break it down. Construction is booming. Nairobi, Kiambu, Mombasa, Nakuru, high-rises, apartments, gated communities. But here's what people don't talk about. Construction is one of the highest risk industries in Kenya. Things go wrong. Scaffolding falls, workers get injured, concrete cracks, walls collapse, equipment damages nearby property. And when something goes wrong, the contractor is blamed. Sometimes immediately, sometimes years later. So what exactly is Contractors Liability Insurance? In simple terms, it's insurance that protects you when someone sues you because of your construction work, especially in cases involving negligence or oversights. It typically covers third-party injuries, damage to other people's property, legal defense costs, and compensation claims subject to policy limits and excess. If a passerby is injured by falling materials, it can respond within its terms. If your excavation damages a neighbor's wall, it can respond. If a client sues over accidental site damage, it can help manage the legal and financial exposure. Without it, you pay legal fees and compensation from your own pocket. Let's make this practical. You're building apartments in Embakasi. During excavation, the neighboring house develops cracks. The owner demands 3 million shillings in repairs and takes you to court. Now, you have to pay lawyers, structural assessments, court fees, and possibly repair costs. Even before judgment, legal costs alone can drain your business. And remember, even if you completed the project years ago, claims can still arise. Now imagine you had Contractors Liability Insurance in place for that project. The insurer steps in to handle covered claims within the agreed policy limits. That's the difference. Who needs this cover? Main contractors, subcontractors, civil engineers, electrical contractors, plumbing contractors, developers. In fact, many tenders in Kenya require proof of liability insurance before awarding contracts. No insurance certificate, no project. So why do many contractors ignore it? Some say, it won't happen to me. I've never had an accident. It's too expensive. Until something happens. Insurance feels expensive until you compare it to a 5 million shillings lawsuit. Then it becomes a smart business decision. How much does it cost? It depends on the project value, type of construction, risk exposure, and the coverage limits you choose. But in most cases, it's a small percentage of your overall project cost, and it protects your business against lawsuits that may arise due to negligence or oversights, within the agreed policy limits and terms. Let me share a quick example. A contractor completed a small commercial building. 2 years later, part of the ceiling collapsed due to moisture damage. A tenant was injured and sued the building owner. The building owner then sued the contractor, alleging defective workmanship. Because the contractor had proper liability cover for that project, the insurer appointed legal representation and handled the claim within the policy terms. Without that cover, the contractor would have carried the legal and financial burden alone. That is why proper coverage matters. Because when a claim arises, that's when you discover whether your insurance is reliable or insufficient. In construction, risk is part of the job, but financial disaster doesn't have to be. If you're a contractor in Kenya, protect every project. Avoid costly lawsuits. Build safely, build smart, protect your business, step by step.